Hi, today I'm making white bean, kale, and sausage soup. And so this soup of the season is a great one for fall. I begin with 1 cup of white beans. I'm using dried white beans in this case. And I have a half a cup of chopped onion, 2 cups of chopped turkey sausage. I'm using 3 cloves of garlic, halved, and then I have a package of chopped kale. Now I'm using probably only about a half a cup of that though. Um, what I'm going to do with the beans next is actually soak them for about an hour or so. So another weekend recipe. I'm going to get back to my weeknight recipes, but I have some favorites here. So I'm soaking the beans and setting them aside and then preparing the ingredients for the broth. And so I'm going to cut up my sausage into these rounds, and then I'm going to pour those into a hot pan with about a half a teaspoon of oil, and add the garlic, and then 5 cups of water to that. Now, those 5 cups of water is basically just the starter broth. You may have to add another cup before it's over with. But once I've browned my sausage, I'm adding my water. I'm definitely adding my 2 bouillon cubes for this recipe. This recipe will feed about 2 people. I'm then adding my onions to that broth, as well as my seasoning. So garlic powder, black pepper, onion powder, and a little Italian seasoning. Again, you season to taste, okay, based on what you like. And then I'm just adding a pinch of salt. I'm probably going to add a little bit more salt to this recipe later, but to start it and sort of draw out all the flavor, I'm beginning it with that. I return to my beans, which have been sort of soaking for the last hour and a half, and I've drained those beans and add them back to the broth that has been cooking. Once the beans are soft, you're going to add a half a cup of the kale to the beans, the sort of soup mixture. And I also added a 1/4 cup of red bell pepper. And this adds a nice little flavor as well. You'll cook those down for about another 10-15 minutes, and then it's ready to serve. This soup also freezes very well and can be used at a later date. Maybe you can make it earlier in the fall and use it later. But this is the white bean, kale, and sausage soup.